Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of my Out of the Park Baseball 24 playthrough with the expansion Nashville Blues. I don't have anything playing in the background, so this will be a live recording. We are through spring training for the most part, and we are ready to go. What's going on here? Victor Moya is injured. That's not good, but we will deal with it. He's our only top 100 prospect. It's March 28th. We went 15 and 13 in spring training. Good pitching, no offense. Yeah, it's to be expected, I guess. We have to trim our roster. We're at 40. Oh, and I did fill in almost the entirety of my minor league systems. I think I have a bunch of contract offers still out there. Do I? No, I don't. Okay. Well, we might have to to fill in the roster, fill in the rest with some other players here once we get to the start of the season. But we almost got there. We got to trim our roster though. So we are at 60. We only have to send 3 pitchers down. That's interesting. Do I really want to send Balderas? I mean, I don't think it matters, right? Like, he's already on. He's already on the team, and he's already like on the 40-man. So I don't see any reason to send him down. There's no. I think I might though. Just let him develop. First of all, let's do this. Let's go into. I mean, he was so good though. Spring training. Mock was one of our worst pitchers, so we'll send him down. I think that's probably fair. Let's see what the answer is on Moya before we start making any real decisions. Oh, snap. All right. Put him on the 60-day. So now we only need to send one more pitcher down. Who was our worst pitcher? We're all actually quite good. Monte de Oca was our worst pitcher, but he was also a Rule 5 guy, so we can't send him down. Salin Drew's one of our starters. Frausto was a Rule 5 guy. Edwards, I think we sent Jeff Edwards down. Aw, it's fine. Can't imagine anybody's going to claim him. I also think there will likely be better players on waivers when we get to that point. So a lot of these pitchers are making Drew wasn't making his debut. Yeah, he started 18 games last season, but let's still leave him at 100 or just die. We put it 110. And then it wants to use Jim Bennett as our closer, which I think is fine. Extreme ground ball pitcher. I mean, he probably should be a starter, but we'll see how he does out of the bullpen. It wants Green and Brown, okay, as our 2 setup men. We don't have a black or a white in our bullpen. Juan Madrid as a middle reliever, 27-year-old, high work ethic. Again, could be a starter very easily. Frausto is fine there. Yeah, I'm fine with this, really. We got to send a lot of batters down. We have 37 position players on our roster right now. Barella. Dinsdale. I think Dinsdale goes down. I don't think he's ready yet. Start him in Double-A. Ramirez isn't ready yet. We can start him in High-A. We have like 17 third basemen on our roster. Dupart. We're going to let Hall continue to develop in Triple-A. We have way too many third basemen. We still have to send 5 players down. I kind of feel like... So I think Velota will go down. We'll let him start in AAA. Yeah, we're going to start Brooksley at second base. Why not? He's 32. Hit 300 in AAA last year. Has a big league pedigree. Delgadillo will go down to AAA. And again, I'm making these decisions without super high accuracy, so... Bleckley... And he's hit. What happened to his power? Did he have power at one time? I don't know. Kind of would prefer to go with a House and Collier combo at third base. Can we send both of these guys to the minors? We can. All right, what are we down to? 28. We got to send 2 more players down still. We have Atencio as our main shortstop right now. Jamie Shook. We'll start him in AAA. We got to send 1 more player to the minors. Egelhoff. Yeah, Egelhoff. All right, we got to 26. That was brutal. But we got to 26. Let's set up our minor league systems. Yeah, we don't have enough players for our FCL team or our single A team, but I think I can probably fix that once we get to the regular season. So let's go ahead and let's just get to opening day. We're taking on the White Sox on opening day. Would have been fun to take on the Cubs. We're going to have to set our roster here. We're going to have to set our lineup here in a minute. Let's see what OSA thinks we're... Our owner just wants us to stay respectable on the field. We don't have any top 100 prospects. We should have... We just have Moya. Okay. All right. Waiver wire. Let's see what treats are there for us. Sincere Chisholm. Yeah. We are 100% going to take Sincere Chisholm. Wow. Okay. Works for me. All right, we got to set our lineup. Clear the lineups. Clear all the depth charts. And all right, let's see what we see. So contact. Yeah, Blinman's not as good as we had hoped. He's not terrible, but he's not as good as we would have hoped. So I think Patterson is our leadoff hitter, just because the avoid K in the contact. And I think left field's probably the right place for him. Yeah, I think left field is the best place for him. Our number 2 hitter will be Blinman. He's going to play center, I guess. Who's our number 3? Encarnacion Strand. Our number 4 will be against righties. It'll be Cam Collier at third. Carson Williams. You go Carson Williams. Yeah, I mean, Atencio's better defensively. Carson Williams is pretty damn good, too. Arroyo at second. Pecchia is not a particularly good outfielder, but we're going to put him in right. The DH. Guess we'll go Brady House at DH. And then Kevin Kendrick will be our starting catcher. So it wants to swap Lee and Arroyo every other game, Atencio and Williams every other game, and then Pecchia and how. That's fine. I'm okay with that. And then copy and paste. Collier's bat's not great against lefties, so maybe we go Sechrist. We make House the starting third baseman. We go with Sechrist to DH. We move House up there. And we do something like that. Yeah, that's fine. All right. So there is your opening day starting lineup for the Nashville Blues. We are going to jump in and play opening day here. Or, again, we're going to let the game play. But we've got Kevin Patterson batting leadoff and playing left field. Dougie Blinman batting second, playing center. Christian Encarnacion Strand, who's our big bopper, batting third, playing first. Cam Collier gets the start at third, batting cleanup. Carson Williams will bat fifth, playing short. Juan Arroyo bats sixth at second base. Mike Pecchia out in right field, batting seventh. Brady House, your designated hitter, batting eighth. And Kevin Kendrick will bat ninth and do the catching. Ryan Costu will get the start. He was 5-1 last season between Minnesota and Miami with an ERA of about 3.8. On the other side, Jay Allen, Miguel Vargas, Nate Stevens, Brandy Rosario, who was the MVP last year, Colson Montgomery, Connor Griffin, Yakiel Mijares, Josh Bench, Steve Barr, and Kevin Chesser gets the start. 10-9, 3.84 for the White Sox last season. Here we go. Opening day for the Nashville Blues. The first ever game for the Blues. And Patterson hits it out to center. Catch is made. I like our jerseys. Like our jerseys. Here comes Blinman. He strikes out. And Encarnacion Strand draws a walk. Comes Cam Collier now. Pops it up on the infield. And we go scoreless in the top of the first. Here comes Ryan Costo. First pitch is a ground ball to short. One away. Now Vargas. Strikeout. Yeah, I like our jerseys, guys. I like the blue. I like the color. I like the blue with the gray pants. Got the white caps. Kind of like that. Nate Stevens. And Costo sends the White Sox down in order in the first. There's Carson Williams. Strikes out. Arroyo. Oh, he strikes out as well. And Pecchia grounds out to short. So 3 up, 3 down in the second. Rosario with a fly ball to center. I think that stays in the park. Yep. 1 out. Colson Montgomery grounds it to first. 3-1. And Griffin. So Costo, 6 up, 6 down. 3-2. Brady House. Strikes out. Kevin Kendrick strikes out. And Patterson comes back up and grounds it into the hole. And, we almost pick up our first hit with 2 outs in the third, but it's a 1-2-3 third inning. Mijares leads off. He draws a leadoff walk. Josh Bench grounds into a 4-6 fielder's choice. Steve Barr grounds it, and that'll be an infield hit. Jay Allen strikes out, and Vargas, the fly ball to right, that'll get down, and we'll be down 1-0 here in the bottom of the third inning. We get out of it giving up just the 1. Dougie Blinman still looking for the first Nashville hit. He's not going to get it here. Neither is Encarnacion Strand. Cam Collier, did he get it? No, hits it to the wall. I thought that was our first hit and our first run. Rosario fly ball to center. 1 out. There's a strikeout for Costo and the 1-2 to Griffin. Ryan Costo's pitched well. We just can't give him any offense. Williams with a strikeout. That's 8 now for Chesser. He's going to strike out the side. He sure is. 9 strikeouts through 5 innings. Mijares grounds it to second. 1 out. Josh Bench gives the White Sox a 2-0 lead. Sure does, with a solo home run. Steve Barr hits it to center, 2 away. And Jay Allen strikes out. Well, 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs for Costo. I'll take that. Still looking for our first hit. And I think we get it right there. Brady House with a leadoff single in the 6th. Picks up the first hit of in the history of the Nashville Blues. Kendrick now. Loops it to center. Catch is made. Patterson grounds it on the infield. House down to second. Becky Blindman strikes out. So Chester struck out 10 in 6. We do pick up our first hit. Juan Madrid now checking in. So 5 innings for Costo. I'll take that. That'll be an infield single leading off the 6th. Fly ball to left. 1 out. Rosario base hit to center. A couple of singles here in the 6th for the White Sox. Montgomery strikes out, and Griffin grounds it to short. A couple of singles go for naught. Go to the 7th. Still only down by 2. Bloop and a blast gets us right back into it. That's a bloop, but not bloopy enough. Foul out to the catcher. Collier grounds out to short. And Carson Williams draws a 2-out walk. Juan Arroyo. Williams will steal second base. The first stolen base in Blues history. And Arroyo pops it up on the infield. So we're getting absolutely just shut down here on opening day. Not a surprise. Our offense isn't good. Our pitching staff should be okay. But our offense is going to be rough. We went young. We went contact. And so far, at least through game 1, that's not working out. It's a bar with a 2-out double. Here's Monte de Oca against Allen. And it gets down for a hit, so it's 3-0 now. Ground ball to third. That gets us through. I think we're into the 8th now? Yeah, right there, top 8. Ricardo Gomez comes in against Pecchia. Pecchia grounds out to third. Brady House draws a walk. Kendrick with a fly ball to left. That'll get down for a hit. All right, so our 8-9 hitters are the only 2 players in the lineup with base knocks, but that does bring the tying run to the plate. Patterson. He hits it to left. That stays in the park. 2 away now for Blindman. Lefty on lefty here. Blindman with a chopper. That'll be an infield single. So here's our chance. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 8th for our best hitter. And it gets down for a hit. So the first 2 RBIs in Nashville Blues history come off the bat of Christian Encarnacion Strand with a 2-run single in the 8th inning. Tying run is at second base, and our cleanup hitter, Cam Collier, coming to the plate. And he strikes out with the go-ahead run at first. But we pick up a pair. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Stevens here. Draws a walk. Rosario fly ball to center. Catch is made out there. Colson Montgomery, fly ball to center. Another catch. And Griffin. So we're going to have Williams, Arroyo, and Pecchia up in the 9th. Fly ball to left center. That'll split the defenders. That probably scores the runner from first. Oh, he's going to hold up. Okay. We need to get Mahares here. Nope. That's a 3-run homer. That stinks. Frausto comes in here to face bench and gets him to ground out. But the damage is done. And we go to the 9th down by 4. Carson Williams with a single to center. Getting things started in the 9th inning, though. Arroyo. He strikes out. Runner steals second. No throw. Pecchia. Ground ball to the right side. Williams will go to third. And Brady House smacks it to center, but that'll stay in the park. And we lose our very first game by the final score of 6-2. The offense picked it up towards the end. We had 1 hit through 7, a couple of runs on 4 hits in the final 2 innings, and Encarnacion Strand with the first 2 RBIs in Nashville history. Brady House with the first base hit. Ryan Costo will pick up the loss. Didn't pitch poorly. Monte de Alca wasn't great, and we lose on opening day. So that's going to be it for this portion of the episode. I'm going to go ahead and sim up to, I think, June 1st, and then we'll come back and we will just quickly sim June a day at a time. You guys don't need to see me lose, 20 out of 30 or whatever. So, yeah, we'll get up to June 1st, and then I'll come back and we'll do June, and then next episode will be July. So I will be back in a minute. All right, guys, we're back, and I made the decision to sim up to July 1st. I don't know. I felt like maybe this first season we didn't necessarily need to sit and watch me lose 2 out of every 3 games or 3 out of every 5 games or whatever it was. So I simmed ahead to July 1st. We're going to get through July here in this episode. So we're going to do the draft. We're going to do the trade deadline. And then episode 1 will be the first half of the season. Episode 2, I'll sim ahead to the end of the regular season. And we will do our first full off season as an actual organization. So just to take a quick look back at some of the things that happened. This was the player Sincere Chisholm that, and again, you guys, you're literally just watching this, so it shouldn't be hard to remember, but he was the one we put in the waiver claim on, and he's been terrific. He's been by far our best pitcher, 2.1 WAR, 126 ERA. He's on pace to win 17 games for an expansion franchise. So that was our best pitching acquisition, and I didn't even realize he could hit. Maybe he's a two-way guy. Maybe we stick him out there against righties. So that was the big waiver wire pickup. We also made a trade. We had our top 100 prospect, Juan Moyo, who was number 50 at the time. And if you remember, he went down. Again, I'm recording this section of it the next day, so I keep talking about this like I talked about it yesterday. But for you guys, it was all moments ago. But Juan Moya tore his flexor tendon. He was out for the year. At the time, he was out for, I think, 14 months or something like that. He's already fragile at 23. I mean, he looks fine. Looks like a good pitcher. But the fragile plus the recovery time, you have no idea what he's going to look like when he comes back. So I offered him up to the entire league, and I ended up trading Moya and Chang Sik Kwan, who's just what he is. And in exchange, we get third base prospect Jim Chandler. Really good defensively, 60 range, 75 arm, high leader adaptability, work ethic, low greed, and a really, really nice potential batting profile. 55 contact, 60 power, 65 home run power, 75 eye and discipline. I mean, he is a middle of the bat lineup, or middle of the bat batter if he develops fully. We put him in A-ball where he is raking. So we made that deal. He's not a top 100 prospect. The game apparently overvalued Moya, which I used to my advantage, frankly, and I think that's the only trade that I had made. What's crazy is that we were 21-20 through our first 41 games. We were actually over 500 41 games into the season. The wheels fell off a bit. Actually, I shouldn't even say that. We haven't been. I mean, we had a stretch that was really bad. I think was it May? Yeah. So we were 21-20, like right here, and then we lost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row, and then 10 out of 11. Then we won. Then we went 5-2 in our final 7 in May. And then we had another losing streak here to start off June. Then we played well. So yeah, I mean, it was back and forth once we got to that 21-20 mark. But overall, I have no complaints about how this first year is going. We aren't hitting as a team. We have a few players who are hitting individually, but as a team, we are not hitting. Our pitching has been okay, and then our defense has been middle of the road as well. So if we look at our offensive ratings, Kevin Patterson hitting 335 as a 25-year-old, 852 OPS. I don't know how long he can maintain this with the 40 eye and discipline. My experience is that players like this tend to fall off after a year or two. Once that contact drops to a 60, all of a sudden, 335 becomes 280, the on base percentage becomes 310, the slugging becomes 340, and he becomes a 700 OPS guy, and it's not nearly as valuable. But we'll take it for now. Dougie Blinman was our first overall pick in the expansion draft. 790 OPS. Still a ways to go in terms of his development. He's on pace for 53 doubles, 17 home runs, 3.5 WAR. He's playing essentially average in center field, a little bit low on the zone rating, but no real complaints. Encarnacion Strand has been our big power bat, on pace for 27 home runs, 91 RBIs, good for 3 WAR. Probably a player we look to trade, just given where we are. Like, I like having that bat in the lineup, but to what end? And before the ratings start to dip, maybe we try to take advantage of it. Brooks Lee, doing a nice job, frankly. Moved him into the starting lineup. I mean, the bat's slightly below average, but he's been really good defensively at second. Mike Sechrist, the former Chicago Cub signee, on pace for 10 home runs, 50 runs knocked in. He's been above average. Atencio, everybody hates him. He's not disruptive, but everybody hates him. In fact, we were 21-20. Then we lost a game to fall to 21-21, and then he got called out by Blinman, and then we lost 8 straight games after that. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but it's just so hard to give up on somebody who has these types of defensive ratings at 7 of the 9 positions. I'm going to hang on to him for now. He's been below average at third, which makes sense because he doesn't have the arm. Center field makes sense, but yeah. Carson Williams, whatever. He's not hitting. He's been below average with the glove. He doesn't have much value, but we'll probably keep throwing him out there because he can run into a ball every now and again. And I don't know. Those ratings seem really good for a middle infielder. Kevin Kendrick hitting a $167. Good for a 27 OPS. But we're going to keep throwing him out there because of that frame rate. Adonis Guzman, we're going to let him play a little bit more. He's got an 84 OPS. His frame rate's a little bit worse. So yeah, our catching situation's pretty brutal, which we figured it would be. Cam Collier's given us a little bit of pop. He's got 11 home runs, on pace for 20, but also on pace to be a negative WAR player. He's been slightly below average with the glove. Juan Arroyo's been awful. Took him out of the lineup because he was hitting like 130 through May or something. Above average with the glove, but he's probably our starter at second base next season. So we got Brooks Lee for this year. Arroyo's probably our starter for next year. Brady House is another one providing us some pop, but a negative WAR player. He's been slightly above average at third. Then Mike Pecchia has been good for negative 0.6 WAR so far this year. From a pitching perspective, Sincere Chisholm, as we talked about, has been our best pitcher. Jim Bennett's been lights out as a closer. 1.26 ERA, 3.39 ERA, plus his 23 saves already. Sang Hoon Mock we called up. He's rocking a 5.7 ERA, but he's been good for 1.2 WAR, and he's exactly league average ERA plus. Sorry, I'm moving around in my chair. I make a lot of noise. You guys know how it is. Just deal with it. He's walking 8 batters per 9 innings. That's obviously not sustainable. Same thing with Medina. He's walking 5 per 9. Vertus Dye, been okay. Yeah, I mean, everybody else has been, varying levels of meh. But yeah, Chisholm is nice. He's due a big chunk of money next season, but I think we got him for another couple years. So that might be a nice piece to trade, or maybe when in 3 years, if we're a contender, he's a middle of the rotation guy, and that works out well for us. Prospects, we don't have much. Balderas is still, we sent him down to AAA because he was awful in 4 starts in the majors. I've actually thought about trading him, but the returns that have been offered haven't been terrific. Hall was one of our top Rule 5 guys. He's in AA right now, where he's not really hitting. He should be in AAA. I don't know why he's in AA. he might be our starting third baseman next season. Just because he has the eye to go along with the home run power. So unlike our two current third basemen, he might actually get on base even if he's not hitting the long ball. So that's a possibility. Velota, 25-year-old. He's in Double-A where he's raking. He should probably be in Triple-A as well. Degadio is our kind of our power hitting prospect. I don't know why he's in Single-A. It's disable AI promotion. Put him up there. This is who we call up if we trade Encarnacion Strand. He can. I mean, he's already a big league bat against righties, so that might be what we do this episode. Try to move Encarnacion Strand. We'll see. Talked about Chandler. He's our big prospect right now. And then Figueroa was our international guy this past season. He is developing. So that's kind of where we are. It's July 1st. We're going to sim up to the draft and then do the draft and we'll do our deadline. So back-to-back shutouts over Houston. You like to see that. Cam Collier with a 2-run homer. Medina goes 6. Yeah, and you guys know why I go day. I do the day-by-day thing because I think it just brings us closer to the team, so to speak. You know, if I just sim 6 months at a time, there's no connection with these guys. But if we do a day at a time, you know, you start rooting for them. 7-2 loss. 5-4 loss. There we go. Bounce back with a 3-0 win. Guzman, Sechrist, Blindman with RBIs. Vertus Die picks up his 6th win, drops that ERA below 4. Final game against the Sox is a 2-0 loss. We're 40-50. And we'll take a look at Vancouver in a minute. I just want to get up to the draft. So we're at Chicago at the first place White Sox. And the first game is a 6-1 victory, because of course it is. What do we got going on? Brady House with a 3-run homer in the 9th. Yeah, 3-run homer in the 9th for Brady House. Encarnacion Strand drives in a couple. Medina 5 shutout innings. So we lose 2 out of 3 to the White Sox. 3 games against the Orioles leading into the draft. All right, so we lost all 3, so that was a rough patch. We are picking first. So let's get into it and see what we see. Let's just start with batters, I guess. Wow. Having the top pick is interesting to me. I'm not sure what to do with this information. Juan Rivera looks awesome. He wants what is our draft budget's like $33 million or something, right? Something stupid. Yeah, $33 million. Then we can take anybody. So I like Rivera. He's more developed than Etheridge. 70s down the board. Rivera's 8. Yeah, I mean, Rivera's so good. Right now, I think it's Rivera. There's only 180 overall pitcher, and he looks okay. Changeup doesn't develop, so he's a 3-pitch pitcher. Fastball, slider, sinker. Yeah, I don't think there's a starter here that is worthy of that number 1 pick. I think it's Juan Rivera. Who do they think we should? They think we should take Rivera. Okay, so on the same page as our scout here. 80 contact, 75 gap power, 70 home run power. I mean, he's gonna mash. He probably starts an A-ball. He's probably not that far away. And Juan Rivera is going to be the first overall draft pick of the Nashville Blues. Let me know what you guys would have done. Would you have gone Etheridge? Maybe a little bit higher ceiling out of Etheridge. But Rivera looks like the better defensive outfielder as well. So I think Rivera is the right pick. All right, our next pick. What do we got for pitchers? Parks. Yeah, not a ton of great pitchers in this draft. Sam Hamilton looks all right, but again, a changeup that probably never develops. Got a decent bat, too. Lane Theron looks pretty good. Again, though, a changeup that doesn't develop, and he's got the low work ethic. Let's go back to batters, I think. All right, we've got Robbie Hughes, catcher who's only above average with the glove. Tyrese Biagas, corner outfielder. He looks all right. Jean-Baptiste Dupuin. Chris Estes. He's a good, I mean, play shortstop. Certainly can play shortstop with the range. Huh. That's a little disappointing. Joe Mall. Those ratings I like. I guess they're not that far off. Yeah, the avoid K goes from a 55 to a 45. He's got the high work ethic. Who do they think we should take? Camden Verge. Nope, not taking a first baseman. Yeah, once you get past the first round, not a super impressive draft. Do I take Estes? Let's Gaetan Estes. High intelligence. Great speed. Good range. I mean, he'd make a good shortstop. Jose likes him a little bit more. If this... Yeah, I mean, if he can get that discipline up to a 40, then he becomes a more intriguing player. As it stands, he's going to be a high contact, high doubles guy with a low on base percentage. So his hitting tool is going to be completely dependent on his batting average, which, I mean, I don't love, but I don't see a better option. Jared Collins looks okay. I don't know, do we go Collins? I think we go Collins. Bit better hit tool. Again, another center fielder type, but, I mean, you can never have too many solids. I think we're going to take Jared Collins here in the second round. And if Estes is there with our next pick, we'll take him then. And he's not, so that's fine. These need to switch. That's bothering me, the way that that's drawn up. Biagas, I think, is probably the pick here. Right fielder with that arm. High adaptability, good bat. I mean, he's only 18, so who really knows what he turns into, but... Chris Franklin. Let's go to pitchers. Iker. I like the ratings. He doesn't have a fastball, but he has a slider, curveball, and a cutter. Theron's still there. Changeup never I think we're going to go Theron. The changeup never develops. Or do we go Willis? I think we're going to go Willis because of the work ethic. I don't know that he's as good a pitcher as Theron, but I like the work ethic. Against San Madrid, another starting pitcher with good work ethic. He's 18, but pretty developed already. Hang on just a minute, guys. All right, sorry about that. I had to respond to an email. You guys know how this goes for me. All right, next pick. We got Kevin Burnett with the high work ethic. Yeah, we'll take a few high work ethic pitchers, and I mean he wants $5 million, but we get $33 million or whatever it is to spend, so that's not a huge issue. Steve. All right, let's go to fielding ratings. What do we got for catchers? Danny Cessna. That's all right. Zion Mabine. That bat's terrible. Don't mind Cessna. He looks all right. I mean, that 70 catcher ability is really nice. Elmer Maloney. That's a name. That's a name. Yeah, look at that. No 70 overall outfield range outfielders left in the draft. We got Normal Albright, who's got high work ethic. It's weird. We have a center fielder with 70 infield range, but only... I like Josh Niedermeyer. He's kind of a cheaper version of that other shortstop we were looking at. Yeah, not a great draft outside of the first pick. It's kind of disappointing in reality. I mean, that could be a function of my scout. I don't know. But Sergio Delgado, high work ethic, sure. God, that's such a great name. El Rico Marchand. He's terrible, but that's a great name. Mauricio Alvarado. I like that. And we can take him. Let's go to all players. Do we have any two-way guys? Ow. Broke my headphones last night. I sat on them. Because... You know me, I'm a professional. Sat on my headphones last night and busted them. So I gotta go out this week and get myself some new headphones. Jimmy Healy, why did I not see him? We can take him. I don't think he's ever going to be all that good, but... Alan Thrash, he's probably he's probably more of an outfielder than he is a catcher with those ratings, but... Nate Jamgochian. Leaning heavily on the high work ethic guys right now with the hope that they can develop, right? That's the whole plan. That's the whole hope. Alfredo Padilla. Jeff Towson. He can't hit, but high work ethic, pretty developed, good minor league filler in case we need You know, to call somebody up due to injury or something. Fletcher Belmore. Yep. Let's go to the next pick and then individual pitch potential. And guys, I got to pause for a minute. I'll be right back. All right. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I got an email from one boss, and then I got a text message from my other boss, my wife. So both of them came at the same time, so I had to deal with those. So I am all set now, though. All right, so no knuckleballers. We got Greg Leverett with a knuckle change, a screwball, circle change, Amari Irions, but he isn't any good. Sam Becton, no. Boyer, no. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting at this point, given it's the 16th round, but I'm hoping that there's a guy with high work ethic who doesn't have like a 20 rated overall something or other, and that there might be some TCR there, but I'm not seeing anything. Yep, I'm just going to let the AI do the last 4 rounds. All right, let's get in here and negotiate. Let's just sign everybody because we've got so much money. We went above slot on really everybody, but that's fine. You can afford to do that when you have a $33 million draft budget. So yeah, Juan Rivera, our top pick, looks like he's going to be an absolute monster. Jared Collins, like he'll be a complementary outfielder. You know, maybe a number 2 hitter with that contact and gap power. I don't know. Chris Willis was our run on pitchers. The changeup never develops, but 60-60-60 with a fastball, curveball, sinker, high work ethic. Sam Madrid, same thing. 55-55-60, fastball, sinker, cutter with high work ethic. Kevin Burnett, another high work ethic guy, 55. Yeah, so all 3 of these guys are very similar. So hopefully at least one of them works out. And then Delgado, an outfielder with high work ethic. So I'm pleased. I'm pleased with the draft. Pleased with the draft. All right. Yeah, so we're through the draft. So now we've got the deadline. A couple play. I mean, really nobody's off limits, right? Like, I mean, I think I would trade anybody if the return was right. I don't think I'm gonna actively shop like Patterson, Blinman, Chisholm, Bennett. So let's just sort of see if there's any interest in Encarnacion Strand given the year that he's having in his contract. There's really not. Yeah, we've been getting Padres have been trying to offload King and Mullinax on us all season long. Hey, you offered him that money, man, not me. Yeah, $38 million for an average. Yeah, like none of these deals, like, it doesn't make any sense for us to make this trade. What if we retained? I don't necessarily think it's a retention thing. He's not making a ton of money. Yeah, we may not do much. Blinman House. I can't imagine anybody's going to want Brady House. Yeah, getting the offers for Miller, King, and Mullinax. I mean, I'm not against taking on a large contract. Serna. I mean, Serna wouldn't be a bad stash for us. I mean, it gives us at least negotiating rights with him. Somebody who's put up between 2 and 3.5 WAR every year of his career. He's only 28. Ryan Gallagher's on the block. Another one. Gallagher wouldn't be bad. He's at least 30. again, healthy and Did Balderas just get better? He may have just gotten better. I don't want to move him just yet if he just got better. I don't even know who to offer. Like, I can't imagine that anybody on this team is gonna. Yeah, like I would almost prefer to trade for a player that has like Yeremi Bastardo. I mean, his contract is $51 million this season. I wonder if he hasn't been good this year. So he was a reliever. He's only got 35 stamina. Okay. I didn't realize that. Tink Hentz. He's making 8. He's out for 5 months. He's got a vesting option for next season, which likely doesn't vest. But, like, he would be a good starter for us. What does Kansas City want for an injured Tink Hentz? Let's see if that has any interest. You want Chisholm. Okay, well, you can't have Chisholm. Madrid, Williams, and House. Does that make it better or worse? We went. So Salen Drew's eligible to come off the deal. He's been hurt all year. And I think now is the time to send him back down to the minors. And injury list. Salen Drew. All right. Oh, sorry. It's just email after email after email, phone call after phone call. It's like they think I'm working today, guys. Let's put Salen Drew back in the rotation. So we went 6-2. Encarnacion Strand 3 for 4. Collier, yeah, like so many batting averages around 200. It's just outweighing what the top of our lineup is doing. Because Patterson, Blindman, and Encarnacion Strand have been really good. It doesn't change it at all. Please add more and I'll probably accept it. I don't want to add. That's a terrible deal. I am curious, though. If there's anything worth doing here. They called Gillen up, really. Interesting. Okay. Maybe a little early for my liking, but you do you. Just wanted to see if there was a prospect that maybe was intriguing enough to talk about moving Chisholm, but it doesn't appear there is. It does not appear there is. So yeah, I'm not going to trade him. What about Bennett? Because you have to think a player like Bennett has more value to a team that is in contention than he does a player like us. But nope, I guess not. No real value for Jim Bennett, which is a shame. If we look at regulars, we got Iris Trovato, a 27-year-old. He was a Rule 5 pick a couple of years ago of Baltimore. He's having a pretty good season. He's probably a left fielder with that range. I mean, he's not bad. I mean, if those are his ratings, I wouldn't be interested. But let's get a scouting report on Everest Trovato. See what we see out of him. Dylan Cupp is only making $30 million a year for the next 6 years. I'll pass. Noah Miller is hurt forever. Remington Batista, another waiver wire claim. Jet Williams is in the first year of a 7-year, $150 million deal. So we'll pass on that as well. There's King and Mullinax. Yeah, I don't know that any deals are going to happen. Any, I guess, additional deals other than the ones I've already made. Christian Little has been pretty good. He's arbitration eligible, do $6 million next year. I wouldn't mind Little, but not for Bennett. Let's start with somebody that we know we aren't going to bring back, like Costo. Let's try that. Another game against the Mariners. Okay, so at least there's some options. Of course, they're like our best players, but I mean, I don't think we're that far off if he's asking for some of these players. So let's discuss again. I'm not against giving you a reliever here, but let's try Medina first. See what happens the next day. There's another loss. Okay, so this does it. This will make it happen, I think. Or will it? Yeah, you want Seiji Miura. You can have him. Although he actually, I mean, he's 32. High work ethic. He's actually not terrible. Jeff Green, Judd Fay, yeah. Bo Bichette. Yeah, you can have Bo Bichette. There we go. So Ryan Costo, who we aren't going to bring back, he was our one of our free agent signings this year, hasn't been particularly good, along with Julio Medina, who also hasn't been particularly. I mean, he's been okay. What if we I don't want to do it because that'll hurt my trading reputation. We'll bring in Christian Little. Stick him into the rotation. He is ARB eligible next season. So we get him for at least one more year, but that gives us another starter to stick into our rotation with Chisholm. Let's make the deal. And we pick up a starter. The point of that is to pick up somebody who has a little bit more control, right? Pick up someone who has a little bit more team control. We sent 2 of our starters away, which means do we give Balderas another shot? I mean, he's been much better down in AAA. Let's call Irv Carter up. We call Brown up. Let's call Brown up. Let's put him in the rotation. Josh Brown. So yeah, Little and Chisholm right now are our top 2 starters. Not terrible, I guess. Not great. They're not terrible. Are there any other? The only other contract we have that expires after this season is Carson Williams. So we got Little for 2 more years after this. So that works out well. That works out well for us, I think. Yeah. Nobody else is. I don't think anybody else here is worth. Like, I don't think anybody wants Carson Williams. Well, I take that back. Some people do want Carson Williams. Okay. Josh Ferrer-Reese. I mean, very similar to our leadoff hitter, right? That profile. But he was drafted in 2032. By 2033, he's already in the majors. I mean, that feels like a good option, depending on what else is here. We got Joe Carlson, a former first-round pick. That's a reasonable contract. 4, 6, 8, 9. What are his ratings? 55, 60, 70. Yeah. Let's see if there's anybody else, but Carlson seems like a pretty good option for us. Maybe we can also get Case and Cunningham. Let's try that. Can we get Carlson and Cunningham from Cleveland? Submit that and see what they say. Brown, Bennett, Dinsdale, Hall, Angel. You want a 30-year-old reliever? Let's discuss it again. I'd rather not give him up because he's actually pretty good. What about Jeff Edwards? Let's try Jeff Edwards. Let's submit that. Judd Fabian. Yeah, we can make it happen. Christian Arroyo. You want Christian Arroyo? Great. So Carson Williams, we signed him to a 1-year, $4 million contract. We will send him to Cleveland along with Jeff Edwards, a reliever who has been not particularly good for us, and Christian Arroyo, who we signed as a minor league free agent. We will get back Joe Carlson, whose ratings look pretty damn good. He hasn't been successful, but his ratings look good. He's signed to a 4-year contract that's not a ton of money, and we've got plenty of it. As well as Kaysen Cunningham, who we can bring in and probably stick him at second. I mean, he could play third. I mean, he could play short, rather, but probably stick him at second base. Let's go ahead and complete that deal. I think those are the 2 trades we are going to make in this episode, but we've improved our rotation, I think, pretty substantially here in just a very short time. So our top 3 now, just from a ratings perspective, Chisholm, Carlson, and Little. It's not a great 1, 2, 3, but it's not terrible. It's not terrible, and we still have an absolute ton of money. Our payroll's only $59 million next season. And so Cunningham will come in. I think we do this. Make him the shortstop, him the second baseman. Cunningham, can he hit lefties? Sort of. But he's the best option we have right now. Arroyo's a 65 as well, but he has a terrible arm, so I think we'll leave Cunningham at short against lefties. Do some of that. Let's get up to the deadline. We may still try to move Encarnacion Strand. We'll see how it goes. Collier 4 for 5. Pecchia, look at that. Cunningham 3 for 4 with an RBI in his debut. Curtis Dye goes 8 1/3. Now we got the Yankees. We lose 5-2. We win 3-0. Was that Chisholm? Yep, Chisholm. Did he go the distance? He did. Pitched a no-hitter. So we get a no-hitter in our first season from a waiver wire pickup. Sincere Chisholm throws a no-hitter in year 1 for the Nashville Blues. Let's go. We get a home run from Brady House, his 15th. Cunningham with another RBI. You love to see that. In fact, I'm going to clip. I'll come back to it. It's not letting me save it, but all right. Anybody want Encarnacion Strand now that we're a little bit closer to the deadline? Nope. We can get Zavala in that bad contract. Trading for Luke Williams makes no sense. Okay, so we'll have ourselves a first baseman for next season. That's fine. Or we can try to trade him in the offseason. He's only got a $5 million deal. Back-to-back shutouts, so we lose Joe Carlson right away. That sucks. To a oblique strain, so he's out for the year. Really, he's out for the year. So let's now call up Irv Carter. Oh, my 40 man's full. All right. Dupart. Call up Irv Carter. Will that hurt? We just picked that guy up to be one of our our three-headed monster, if you will, of Carlson, Chisholm, and Little. But not going to happen this year. Maybe next year. At any rate, we win this game 11-0. Collier with the 2-run homer. Brady House with his 16th homer. Pecchia has 2 hits. Collier drives in 4. 6-0 loss. So yeah, what I'm going to do is once this is done, I'll sim through the end of the regular season. The next episode will be our off season. I was looking at the upcoming free agents, and there's not a ton there. So I'm hopeful that maybe we get an interesting international option. But yeah, there's not much there from a free agent perspective. Cunningham doing a nice job. 8 for his first 26. High leader, high work ethic. Cam Collier. Yeah, Collier's doing okay. I mean, I'll take. He's on pace for 24.90. The average is a little light, but that's okay, I guess. Zaylen Drew, 5 hitless innings in this one. Minnesota to finish up. Minnesota, the only team in the division that's worse than us. They are a lot worse than us. And, of course, they beat us in the first game. Beat us in the second game. And I don't care if they beat us. It just means our record won't be as good. We're going to go ahead and complete the deadline. We've made the deals we wanted to make, bringing in Christian Little, Kason Cunningham, and Joe Carlson, all of which are long-term upgrades from what we had in the short term. All right, so we win the final game of the month 4-3. Jim Bennett gets better. I'm thinking about making him a starter next year. If we made him a starter, becomes 50, 80, 55. I mean, he could be a starter. That might be an option for next season, though. This year, though, as long as his stamina stays at 55, it's something we can talk about for next season. This isn't good. Seacrest, Patterson, Blinman all get worse. Oh, we didn't look at our... Ezekiel Santoyo got better. Let's go. Can't hit, or he can't field, but kid can hit. Let's look at our draft picks. We didn't even think to do that. So Juan Rivera is, yeah, that's fine. He doesn't belong there. We're going to put him in, 21. Let's put him in A-ball for now. Disable the AI promotion. Collins, let's put him in A-ball as well. Disable AI promotion. Delgado. It's fine. Yeah, all these guys we're going to disable the AI promotion. Cessna was the catcher with the good catcher ability but can't really hit. Thrash was the catcher who can't catch but can hit a little. And then the rest of these guys I think I'm fine just leaving. But we will disable promotion on all of them. We'll keep a close eye on our trio of pitchers, Willis, Burnett, and Madrid. Because they're all very similar out of the chute, and they're all very similar potential, so we will see. But yeah, Chandler, Rivera, those are our 2 big prospect bats now, so we got to keep a close eye on them and develop them as we can. Delgadillo probably needs to come up. Yeah, he probably, because, his ratings against righties, he can hit righties, so who do we send down? Arroyo. Ooh, he's out of option years. I'm afraid if we send him down, someone will claim him. Maybe it's Brooks Lee. I think it's Brooks Lee because... Let's designate. Yeah, I think it's Brooks Lee just because doesn't have a future with the team. So against righties... We will bring in Delgadillo at DH. Move him up actually there. Move Pecchia there. Move Cunningham there. Put Cunningham at short. And bring in... put him at second. Bring Atencio in at short. I think we're good like that. All right, so there we go. We are 47-64. 423 winning percentage is, what about 70 wins, 70-ish wins. So I think that's probably where we end up. Somewhere between, I think we're going to come in short of 100 losses, which is great. I think we probably come in around 92 losses, give or take. But we will see. So that's going to do it here for episode 2, guys. As always, leave the video a like, subscribe, comment, etc., etc. First video is doing pretty good. Pretty happy with the results of episode 1. Let's keep pushing here with episode 2. Guys, I appreciate you. I already said I appreciate the support, but I'll say it again. I appreciate the support. Talk to everybody soon, and we'll see you at the end of season 1. Bye-bye.